Hey Spuddies, Pretend McWhiskey here, and welcome back to the alternative timeline, the one where we didn't lose, Copium, the one where we won the war, right? We're definitely not going to lose. Am I right, guys? Anyway, we got our work cut out for us here. Now, there are a ton of Earth orbits, and we own a few of them, and it's about time that we started thinking about defending them. So one thing that we definitely want to get is the marine combat stuff, which I think comes with militarization of space. Yeah, marine platoon barracks. This helps defend against control assets that the AI can do against your thingies. Now, question, the first that I have, can my operations lead, he does not have a way to control space assets, so that's going to have to be something we look into getting him. And I think in order to do that, we'll need to remove the trait Earthbound. That should be fairly straightforward. It should only take a little bit of experience, and then we'll know whether or not he'll be able to defend our space assets, and we're going to have to figure out what level of marine investment are we going to do in our space assets. I think as long as we don't make ourselves too big of a target and make it too easy to assault our space assets, we should be fine. So we've definitely got a positive ID on 2 new aliens, one in South America. I think I'll kill the one in South America just so I can get rid of them. I need to get them off the Earth. Reduce the number of missions that they're doing, because every time they do these like weird abduct missions, they make it easier for them to control the world when it comes to the 2030s. So the sooner I get them off planet, the better. Scratch another alien bogey. 22% chance, 37% chance to hit, and we rolled a 22. That is amazing. This time we actually managed to capture a salamander, which was a shock trooper. I believe this alien had a salamander shock trooper detachment attached to him, which will open up salamander autopsies for us in the near future, which will lower the chance for the aliens to do successful terrorize missions. Now, they haven't started doing that yet, but they will. Oh my god, look at that rock. Look at all the rares on that bad boy. I'm going to cool my jets on killing aliens. I believe I have provoked them pretty heavily with the murders. So I'm just going to cool the jet slightly and not go too hard on them, because I've taken out 3 of what I assume are 4 alien agents on Earth. They might be able to have 5, I don't know. But that should significantly curb their ability to do anything here. And I know that's a very humanity first move, but you have to remember, every time the alien agents do an action, they're increasing their research and they're ratcheting up the timer. And what I need as the Academy is time. I need all the time that I can buy. I've also managed to max out the project boost from all of my counselors. They're all at 3 pluses on the project, which is giving me a 70% boost to my personal factional research, which is an insane boost. I'm getting nearly 50 science a day on this tech alone. It's a bit of an open question as to the direction I would like to go with my weapons technology. Personally, I really liked the way lasers played. They felt really, really nice to play around lasers. So I think I might go lasers again, because I managed to figure out a build that actually worked. So if I'm like role-playing it, this is familiar ground for me after being sent back in the past. I know there are lasers that can work against the aliens very, very effectively. If this servant counselor that I just turned gets fired in the next 2 mission cycles, I know for a fact that Bao Mi La is the counselor that's been turned, and I'm going to fire her and hire an activist to take her place. She's kind of well trained and highly skilled, but if I replace her early enough, it won't be too painful, and she has a lot of really good factions that I can slot in to a new counselor to build them up to speed. So it's not the end of the world, but it would be really, really nice to have a persuasion based character that can actually do inspire missions, because that's one of the key things that I'm missing is the ability to do inspire. One of the big advantages of being the Academy is nobody really hates you, because nobody is like super ideologically opposed to you. Nobody loves you, right? Nobody's super ideologically aligned with you. But it kind of lets you play the margins. Right now, having learned about, how painful it can be to be in conflict with everyone, I have most people in tolerance, with the exception of the servants of the resistance. And it should be a very easy bribe to make a change there. I have a really powerful space economy, so I've just been kind of bribing people with a couple of like these space resources to see if they're like, oh, you know what, actually this guy's pretty chill. So like if I just give away, well, I probably don't want to give away rares, but if I just give away like a couple of months of production, a month or 2 of production, I can massively boost their opinion of me. And we're still in conflict, but it's not quite as bad. We did just pick up a cooperative resolution, which will give me my objective set, which is going to give us a whole bunch of new stuff. Most importantly, I think I should get my new Special Academy envoys here. Actually, I think now might be, because I don't know how I got Inspire on Bao Mi La. I'm going to be honest, in my last playthrough, in the alternative timeline, I remember her having it. So I think now might be the right time to swap her out. No, it's hard to say though, because she is really good. So if I can find a way to get Inspire on her, I think I'd be in good shape. My big problem is just I don't have a way to boost my loyalty right now, which is going to cause me problems. All of our series bases just came online, so now our monthly water and volatiles is like super good right now. We are slightly over our mission control capacity, so we're going to have to start trading some of those bases away. I think there was 2 there specifically that I wanted to trade. A new alien fleet has arrived in low Earth orbit, and I assume this will be dropping off a dark passenger. Welcome to Earth, Monsieur Alien. Now, what might be actually a really good idea is to release Ireland as a country and get it to just start building mission control. We do also have a little bit of overhead, so we could start trying to take over a country, potentially from the Protectorate. Hungary is actually a really good candidate. I really want to hunt down that alien that just crashed inside Eurasia though. I'll have a little look around, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try to take Hungary off the Protectorate. Hungary already has 5 mission control, so it's a perfect candidate to fold into the European Union. It would be an extra 10 million people and an extra 300 billion GDP. We didn't find fact Xenoform Alpha 5, which is fantastic. It was actually a servant that helped me find them. Now this guy I would actually like to alien contain, so I'm going to wait until I have ferricites researched before I try to kill him. Well, detain him. We're going to grant independence to Ireland, which honestly kind of cripples Ireland because it used to have over like 100k GDP, which is fine. It'll still have 6 investment points per month. So it'll take it a few years to build up all the mission control, and ground-based mission control is generally just better. Until then, we'll just spend a little bit of time building up this country until we can get it back into the European Union, inside the Federation, which will be in October of this year. But hey, look, we actually managed to create a united Ireland. A Republican's dream. Irish Republican, not American Republican. Those are 2 very different things. Now we have Marine assault units, Marine platoon barracks, so I will want a couple of those in space to help me defend my assets up there. This is a big leap forward. We now have access to the Skunk Works project. The big thing that I'm missing, the big piece of the puzzle, is I can't yet go to Mercury, so that'll be the next step here, but otherwise I'm just going to try to keep stealing tech, because every time I steal a tech, that's a tech I don't have to research. So I'm continuously stealing tech from the servants. I'm going to try to steal tech from other people too. I am pissing off the Protectorate a little bit, so after I take Hungary, I'm going to have to give them a little bit of a bribe. I do have a couple of bases. It looks like one of our assets went silent. That's okay. I do have a couple of bases I think I can trade away. Taking over Hungary was a huge feather in my cap. I'm going to have 6 mission control, which is the maximum that this place can build. Each region can have a maximum of 6 mission control. So this should be easy for us to maintain. Get it integrated into the European Union and have it protected and assimilated. So perfect, there's directed energy warfare doctrine. This will lead to point defense laser turrets. That's exactly what we needed to be able to defend ourselves later on in the game. Most importantly, we need to get mission to inner planets, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I do a full spend on that so that we get it ASAP. We can get it in October next year. That's pretty rough. I'm hoping other people will contribute to it. It would actually be really nice to steal CERN from this Xenoform Alpha. Maybe Agent 42. Are you best stacked for that? Let me have a look. Yeah, the aliens are broke, so this should be easy. I didn't know aliens had money, but apparently they're broke. So we can actually take basically anything from the aliens. It would be kind of cool if we could figure out a way. This one's actually really good. This one's really good. There's a few really good orgs here belonging to the aliens that we would want to yoink. Nobody really has the control point power to take over the Eurasian Union if I were to break it away from the servants. And that is something I do want to do. I need to get the servants out of there. At the very least, I might need to break into Russia myself and just disarm the nukes, because I have control of America's nukes. And if I take away the Eurasian Union nukes, that's one of the biggest threats to the American army completely dealt with. So hear me out. If I break in, take over 2 points in Russia, and then just disarm all the nukes. Oh, Humanity First is breaking into Russia. Okay, this is actually really good for me. I may help them along the way and do a little purge for them. I don't love Humanity First, okay? I'll be honest with you. However, I think they are preferable to being under control of the servants. All right, let's have a look at the resources. The Resistance and the Initiative could both use one of my series bases. They're a little bit light on those resources. The Protectorate could also use one, and I need to do that maybe to bring them up to not being in conflict. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to contact the Resistance right now, so I'm going to have to hunt down one of their operatives. I do love the idea that I'm doing like the hostile takeovers on the aliens to steal organizations from them. Like that's just something that really tickles me. It looks like the servants are trying to break into China. That'll be annoying, but I think America should be able to beat China. China can't build nukes fast enough to stop all the American armies. We almost have America back to 5 cohesion and 0 unrest, so we can soon stop investing in welfare and knowledge and start rebuilding the economy and the military of America. So we've got an alien fleet in orbit doing surveillance, which is a little bit concerning, so we'll need to deal with that. It's about time I started thinking about shooting down an alien fleet. I'm kind of not quite there, but I'm getting there. I'm going to give a series base to the Protectorate because they're struggling for space income, and I did just act against their interests, so I don't want them to hate me. So I'll just grab a little bit of cash off them and try to keep them happy. I don't necessarily need them to think like, oh, we're best friends. I just need them to not go to war with me. Because if they're in war, they're more likely to target me with action. So diplomacy seems to be a really important part of my survival. Hungary now has fully built mission control. So in my mind, I may as well start investing in funding because this country is just going to get refolded back into the European Union. So it doesn't matter. And funding is one of the most efficient things that we could invest into. It's not much value, but I don't really see what else I should do with them. If you guys have better ideas, I'd love to hear them. Huge deal. We just picked up the Ferricides project. We should be familiar with that from the previous timeline. This will lead to Hydra containment, which we will be looking towards now ASAP. Now that I have Marine platoon barracks, I feel safe to upgrade a couple of my stations up here to orbital cores. This will allow me to start really taking control of Earth's potential. Now I have to remember each orbital core adds 2 extra mission control. So I think I'm just gonna do 3 for now because I'm only slowly generating mission control. And I also don't want to use up too much. I'm trying to be very, very careful, at least this time around, about how much mission control that I use. We are, however, working on researching attack vessels. So keep that in your head. So one problem I've ran into is the servants are trying to take over China and they have this guy with really high persuasion. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to assassinate him. This is just to slow the servants' reach into China. Now, unfortunately, this is the guy that I have turned. So I'm kind of assassinating my own agent, but we can just get to work on grabbing another one of their agents. Successful assassination on the servant agent. Ooh, so they know it was me that did it. We are still only in conflict. So the odd agent kill does not immediately make you go to war. I'm pretty sure if I turn an agent and then contact them and give them a gift, they'll feel a little bit less hatred towards me. So the servants are a little bit mad at me, so I'm going to give them a little bit of resources. That'll keep them from going to war with me. So we finished a few new orbital cores. Of most importance here is the International Space Station, which is where my xenology research is going to go. Adding a Marine platoon barracks to this place should help keep it a little bit better defended. And then I'll be able to spam out some more xenology labs, which will very importantly give me that extra bonus towards detecting aliens on Earth. I also have a little bit of space science labs coming up. This will help me build my mission control faster. Not a huge amount faster, but every little point in there that we get means I'll be able to reintegrate countries like Ireland back into the European Union, saving me control points. This is huge. We can capture and contain live aliens again. Perfect. And our goal will be to get control of an alien. This character in Thailand has really high espionage, which makes me think, well, local control points. No, they must be from Exodus then. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to find an alien and I haven't been able to find one. They've definitely gone into hiding, even though I have more xeno-sciencey type stuff in orbit that should make it easier to find them. One problem I'm running into is my science director has really bad espionage, so he's getting spotted just constantly, which means I have to kind of lay low with him to make sure he's not getting targeted. I'll have to up his security and his espionage over time. So our chance to detain this target is a little bit low, so we're going to try and boost his intel on him. We definitely want to detain an alien though. That's like top priority. And there is the mission to the inner planets. So that's going to be a top priority, is to get as many bases sent out there as we can get. Probably like 4 on the surface and 4 in orbit or something like that. We have full knowledge of this alien operative. We're going to go ahead and do a full send, 74% chance. So 2 of these missions should have a really high chance of successfully getting the target. We're going to go ahead and make sure we protect our agent performing the mission. In case we roll a critical fail, we don't get murdered. Oh, amazing. The resistance got control of China. This is huge for me. This is huge. Honestly, I think I just need to get the servants out of the Eurasian Union, and then like Earth is so much better prepared for this war. The Protectorate aren't in like America and stuff. God, I feel so much more confident about this going forward. Huge. We just captured a live alien. Massive. The aliens still think I'm a relatively low threat level, and I take an alien out of op action by taking him out. I think there's only 1 active alien on Earth right now, so I need to maybe like try to hunt him down. So let's see if we can do a little bit of work to kick the servants out of the Eurasian Union. America finally has peaceful status, so we can stop investing into welfare and immediately start investing into the army. We need to tech up. We do need to grow the American economy just like a little bit, and if we're growing the economy, We need to be doing a tiny bit of welfare, but mostly we're going to try to increase democracy, technology, and the economy in America for a little while, and then we'll hardcore go into military spending. We get a significant bonus to our military spending. It's around 47%, so it's really, really efficient for us to do that. It's actually similar for the bonus we get to economy. So we managed to get executive control of Russia, and in all honesty, I don't see a reason to change anything. I'm happy to share this country with humanity first. I'm significantly over my management cap. However, I am researching transnational coordination, which will give me 25 more cap, which should make it to where holding these 2 points means we've basically shut the servants out. Now, they are in conflict with us. I'm going to want to give them a little bit of resources to make them chill out. But I mean, like, the status of this game is just in a different stratosphere. Oh, finally, I can maybe contact the resistance. That would be huge if I could find this guy. But yeah, the status of this game is just like insanely in a different world compared to my last game. Knowing now knowing what's coming, I feel so much more confident. So interestingly enough, the Protectorate have started building a fleet. This is a Philadelphia class ship with a crate missile bay and a 30mm autocannon. Not exactly what I would consider to be a very scary ship. However, if they do go to war with us, they would be able to blow up our stations in low Earth orbit and cause us problems. We are in conflict, we're not at war yet, so they shouldn't do that. At least that's my hope. I mean, Humanity First has taken over Eurasian Union and the Resistance has given up their control points in Europe. So I may just kind of like yoink them because it should be fairly cheap to integrate them. I'm in conflict with the Resistance right now, so it would be good to maybe give them another base. Our probe arrived on Mercury and we found that it is rather poor in everything except for metals. We still will build some fairly basic outposts for mining on the surface, particularly for the rares. Having a little bit of a trickle of rares is quite handy. I feel like I'm later to get to Mercury, but I feel I'm getting to Mercury in a stronger position because I understand the game better. Oh, Resistance doesn't have enough mission control to take a hab off me, so I'll just have to give them a gift to bring us back from being in conflict. The good news is they're pretty low on space resources, so I can just give them like tiny chunks of fissiles and rares and they'll be super happy. Yeah, now we're back to tolerance. I need to double check my relations with everyone actually. Yep, I've got tolerance with everyone, which is exactly how I think the Academy is supposed to play. You're supposed to keep everyone happy while very carefully making sure everyone is powerful, not making yourself a big target because you already have a hard enough game. Honestly, the comments that you guys left on these videos were so helpful in just giving me the right mindset to approach the game. Not even like the gameplay, but just like going into the game. Huge. We finally have quantum computing. This will lead to research campuses, and more importantly, I think it gets us really, really close to covert operations. All we need is quantum encryption. We can get our 6th guy. I think I will do a quick stop off for cybernetics because this will represent a significant boost with my skills. No. I need to get my 6th counselor first. It looks like Project Exodus and the Initiative are at war. I think joining a war doesn't make you hostile. So even though I've conquered like a couple of countries from the Initiative off the back of this conflict, they don't actually hate me. But I'll join the war against Cuba, but I won't actually participate. I'll let South Korea handle that. Let me know if you had South Korea declares war on Cuba on your bingo card. God, it feels so good to not be targeted by every single person, to actually be able to sit back, make decisions, and just not constantly be under attack. I didn't respect how important diplomacy was in this game, and that just goes to show you how unimportant diplomacy usually is in these kind of games. Amazingly, Sudan has completed nuclear weapons. That's kind of bad. Oh no. More aliens are landing on Earth. We'll have to fight and deal with them. They seem to like landing in Russia, and we finally got our construction module around Mercury. Oh, this is big. So the colonization of Mercury is about to happen. I actually have a ton of overhead on the research that I have, but let's immediately get this upgraded to an orbital core and then start founding platforms. Now, I feel like I'm relatively good with my actual mining economy, and I think it's more resource efficient to found stuff in orbit of Mercury rather than other stuff, rather than doing bases. So since I don't need the materials, I'm going to start founding orbitals around Mercury, and they will be orbitals, not outposts. So I have to think about it. I don't really want to go above 80 mission control, because on normal difficulty, your mission control multiplied by 0.4, or 40% of your mission control sets your hate floor with the aliens. If you get to a hate level of 50, the aliens will retaliate and attack you. If you get to a hate level 50 after the year 2042, the aliens will declare total war on you. Whereas if they go back down below hate 50, they'll stop attacking you. So we kind of want to play for 2042, really. We're going to be playing for a very, very long time under the radar. So we're going to deploy an orbital to low Mercury orbit. I think I could maybe do 4 orbitals around Mercury. That seems pretty reasonable to me. 4 orbitals around Mercury as a place to do our skunk works, to do our nanofactories, and all that sort of stuff. Thankfully, this alien has relatively low espionage and relatively low security, so I should be able to secure a detain on him pretty easily. Having said that, it would be easier if I was able to get another intel level on him. Assaulting these little alien assets are actually fantastic because it gets your people so much XP. They level up so quickly when you do that mission. So I've just been kind of spamming it on Agent 42 to get her espionage level up. So we have a 45% chance of detaining this. Would I rather... Yeah, no, I don't think I would rather assassinate. Maybe I can make an assassination attempt. Let me have a look here. What would be the chance? Only 27% chance because our espionage is only 20. Yeah, no, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. So we have room for America to deploy 2 more armies. Let's start working on a navy for that newly deployed army. It'll take us a little bit of time, but it's probably not a major priority until around 2032 is when I'll start pumping military investments. Oh shit, Sudan just launched a nuclear attack on Russia. Not a good move, my dude. But a Russian army did just get nuked and obliterated. Not good. Really not good. I don't know why they did that. Why would you do that? Why would you spend your only nuke to nuke your, I guess, sure? Jesus. So this will be my Mercury low Earth orbit HQ. So the entire job of this area will be to be a construction area. Nanofactories produce 60 cash per month. So I'm going to spam out nanofactories. I think I'll need 2 solar arrays and then just all of the nanofactories humanly possible. And that will mean this station will produce quite a decent amount of cash for me to fund the rest of my space ops. I think 1 nanofactory can support 2 mission control stations. Huge. We got another interrogation off. That is more xenology research and an alien put into jail. Not only that, but we should get an accurate read on their opinion on us. And honestly, it seems like they don't seem too mad at us right now. Our threat level just seems really, really low. We do need to find the other alien that landed recently. It looks like I'm going to lose my hold on the Eurasian Union, but I'm okay with that. That's not a big deal. I just wanted it to not be in control of the servants. So I think if I'm getting kicked out of Russia, it might be good to try to take over Italy. It has an awful lot of mission control. 14 mission control in here. 2.5 trillion in GDP that I could add to the European Union. A rather large population, 60 million. That would give me a lot of extra tech. It's building a baseline 70 tech. That would be so much better inside my country. So I think we're going to start running public campaigns inside there. We definitely want to get, I think ideally we want to get 20 skunk works because I think you can max out this bonus at 100% project speed. I might have to just make do with less, but being able to research projects incredibly quickly would be huge. So I'm going to spam out a bunch of skunk works now. So yeah, Humanity First is in full control of Russia, but as long as we don't, oh, actually, never mind. Project Exodus is there. But yeah, as long as things don't spiral out of control, we should be fine. Let's make our first attack on Italy. Now this will absolutely piss them off to an insane degree, but as long as I only take the points slowly and then make time to give them resources to calm them down, we should be able to deal with it. This is another huge step forward for us as well. We got the research campus. If we spam out a bunch of these, we should be able to start converting all our space resources and our cash into a significant boost to our tech, and that is exactly what I plan to do. I have 1 dedicated to generating cash, 1 dedicated to generating MC to pay for all of the other stations, and then 1 dedicated to Skunkworks to get a 50% bonus to my projects, and then this is going to be a research hub. I think my space mining economy is good enough to where I don't need to build farms. So this station right here is going to produce 1,000 science all on its own, and then that 1,000 science is going to get multiplied by 50% from the Skunkworks, so it's actually 1,500 science. And then if I can get another set of Skunkworks, it's just going to be like we're going to be like, our trajectory is now vertical, right? We're on a huge upwards arc. Right, so we have executive control of Italy. However, we don't want to take any more because our command point limits don't really allow us to. Before we can go any further, we'll have to get like Iceland integrated. The Baltic states will have to get integrated. They're actually almost ready to get integrated. They're just about to finish their final MC. So Baltic states, welcome back into Europe. We're going to go from 1,000 science. This might actually hurt our tech a little bit, but it should be fine. It will significantly increase our population. We integrate the boost the mission control into the European Union. It's better defended by our military. Yes, it will lower our education, our competitiveness and all that sort of stuff. It'll hurt the nation for sure. Don't let me pretend that it won't. But in the long term, the sheer amount of mission control that we're going to be able to field in space without having to really make too much use of Mercury is just going to be so useful. We are starting to bump up, like we're getting close to our limit in mission control. We don't really want to go too much higher. So I've managed to cripple the Servants mission control, which is going to put them significantly back when it comes to space stuff. And then in order to make it up to them, I can just hand them over some resources that they need, like for example volatiles. There you go, 500 volatiles and boom, the Servants are immediately back to tolerance with us. We're not in conflict with anyone else except for the Resistance. We might want to do a little bit of a trade with the Resistance. I might actually get an agent in the Resistance because it'll be really, really useful to know what they're up to. I think that's going to be it there, however. We have made amazing progress and we're in much better shape than we have any right to be, considering we started off in 2026 rather than 2022. Europe is coming along nicely and is actually smaller than when we began. But more importantly, I feel like Europe is a much better nation. It has producing a lot more science. It has a lot more mission control, and it will have a lot more mission control once we start like doing the release nation, reintegrate nation, develop the mission control, you know, sort of cycle that we're doing. Like Portugal has to be released. I think probably the Balkans and Bulgaria need to be released. Slovakia will need to be released. Poland might need to be stolen here. That's 8 mission control and 21 boost right there with a 1 trillion economy. That could be a really, really good steal for me from Humanity First. Now, I don't want to anger Humanity First, not immediately, but a 1 trillion GDP nation with 8 mission control in it seems like a pretty good steal. But I suppose on the verge of stepping into the next tier of this game, I'm going to call that the end of this episode. I love you all very much and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.